against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
He always is that active and defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Big up the Twitch gang. You know I love you lot. Don't tell them YouTubers, or in fact, F it, tell the YouTube gang. You lot are my favorites because you lot actually listen. I tell you lot to support the thing and you support it as well. Obviously, good evening to those of you in the UK. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and even in some cases, good night. Hope everyone's well and safe. You know I like to talk about Arsenal, and if there's anything Arsenal related, talking points, etc., don't be shy to shoot them in the comments. But I thought we'd take a general look at 1-2 things relating to football, if I'm completely honest with you. So I don't know where we're going to go with this, but it's always a good one when there's football chat. I mean, I'm on time, so I hope everyone's well and safe. A man said the silence is deafening. DG, you tag speed run, but you ain't breaking records for arriving on time. Last time I checked, broski, I was here at 4 o'clock, so yeah, man, I'm pretty sure I was on time. I don't know what else you're expecting, man, but love for tuning in nonetheless, Tommy Gunn. You know, probably jumping the gun. But CP, appreciate you. Obviously, you know, big up deluded. I was here as well. Soon go and get your questions, talking points, etc. all in. Get them in there now, man. The 3 man that voted, knowing that poor Arsenal fans locked in, appreciative, man. So yeah, one love to everybody locked in, man. Ben, hope you're well. AM, come on. PMAV, come on. You know, the same usual folks. I love you guys, man. I don't know what CS September, C September is on, but you know, love regardless. So yeah, man. It's defo an easier morning when your football club wins, you know, on Saturday, and we have to wait till next Saturday to play. But, you know, it's cushy days right now where I'm concerned as an Arsenal fan, man. So I thought, yeah, man, we'll just do another stream. We'll see where it goes. We're going to talk about POGBA, talk about La Liga vaguely. I just see something with Ben Chilwell. Should be Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. Ronaldo vaguely, Mo Salah, Harvey, ELLIOT, etc., man. So yeah, strap up. We're here for a while, man. That's what she said. But yeah, people, one sec. Let me take off my hoodie car. You know, big up the DG merch. Check that out if you haven't already. But I can't lie, it's mad hot, people. So yeah, man, it's time to bang that off. You know, I've done well to have it on all day, man. It's mad hot, but yeah, man, I have to take that off, man. Really and truly. Before we crack on with anything else, like I said, don't be scared to shoot your questions. Quick questions: should Arsenal build a team? Who should Arsenal build a team around? I don't think there is a single player. I would say is, you know, whether I rate these players, think they're world class or whatever, you should be building it around the spine of your team, you know. So that should be not necessarily, but Partey and just say Lokonga, or Partey, and for me in an ideal world, a number 8 who can pass a ball and break lines and that, to go with a Smith Rowe, an Odegaard, etc. For me, you build the team around the spine. You don't build a house backwards. You don't build the roof and then talk about the foundations and stuff. The foundations are not glamorous. You know, if you was to tear up your house from limb to limb and get down to the foundations, it's not going to look nice, innit? You know, you have to tear through the wallpaper, all the different internet wires and all of that, HD TV, flat screen TV, all of this sort of stuff. You know, you have to look after the foundations. So for me, the foundations would be a Ramsdale, a Ben White, Gabriel, Tierney, TT at right back. That's your foundation. You know, you will not be able to get anywhere if we don't build that. And also, we want to be a playing out from the back team. The whole incidence is from playing out from historically Lennon, now Ramsdale, is to get the ball to the other end. That's why you always hear me say things along the lines of our first attacker is the keeper, our first defender is the striker. So you build backwards. You're not going to get anywhere without a defense. Then obviously the midfield. I mean, a blind man could see Arsenal's midfield is not levels right now. I'm of the Partey and Lokonga thing. I'm not going to lie to you, look, it's not levels as a partnership to do anything of significance. So yeah, you build around that. If you're asking for names, then you build around the people who reflect the DNA of the football club, allegedly. You know, the young players. You know, you've just got Odegaard, you've just got Ben White, a year ago you got Gabriel. You know, these are the sort of guys. Saka, Smith Rowe. It says it without saying, really and truly. So that would be the way I would answer that, if I'm completely honest with you. Really and truly. Show start / who should Arsenal love for that. You made a timestamp, build the side around. So yeah, that was from about, let's call that 17 minutes. Well, it's technically 7 because we was here earlier. So yeah, love for that, man. Man like Deluded Gooner, big up yourself, my G. What you saying, bro? I'm here, man. It's always a pleasure to be here with you guys. It's always, you know, whether you support me on YouTube or Twitch, I'm always very appreciative of the support network that we have, people. So I can't ask for more. I've got my health in all ways, shapes, and form. You know, yeah, I am feeling a bit sore. I got 1-2 cuts, and you know, played on Sunday. I'm feeling a bit worse for wear. Obviously, I've been living my best life this weekend. I went out and whatnot, so you know, body's on the mend. But like I said, health is there. Got you lot. Everything is sweet, and I'd like to say the same for you and your loved ones, man. Everything is cushy on my end, broski. So I appreciate you for asking, though, man. Man said, would you take Ruben Neves for that 8 who can pass? Yeah, he wouldn't be my first choice, but yeah, I would just take. I think you need 2 in it, so I'm being greedy, but in theory, a Ruben Neves and then someone else. I just don't feel there's enough in that midfield. It's not even I'm not asking for we can't, but go and get a world-class player. I just don't think there's variety. You know, Lokonga and Partey are both similar. And yeah, you know, when it's games where we have less of the ball, they might do a thing, or games where we dominate possession and we can get away with whoever is on the field, like against Norwich. But where we need to break down the low block, like I beg you lot, go and watch Crystal Palace at home last season. We're looking at Tierney to break it down. Lokonga and Partey can pass the ball, but that's not their skill set. You know, we're over-relying on several guys. And I just think this football club needs an 8 who's serious. Make sure you're subscribing and whatnot on Twitch, people. Follow, subscribe, and the rest of it. Also, if you don't know already, please make sure you're checking your damn schedules, because tomorrow is Champions League watch-along business over here on Twitch. I'm doing one on Twitch and one on YouTube. So the first one, which I believe I settled on Man United Young Boys, because obviously Ronaldo's there. We'll get that one going, and then after that, I'm pretty sure it's Barcelona, Bayern Munich. So make sure you're following on both for these platforms and you pay attention to what's going on, man. It is what it is. Man said, "Who's your UCL and Europa League team?" I won't cap to you. I ain't got no Europa League team, bro. I don't know. I don't even know who's in it. Arsenal not in it. It don't really matter. Same way I don't have any clue what's going on with fixture lists, with league tables. I don't know who's in half these competitions, because it's of no interest to me as an Arsenal fan, because we're not in it. But Champions League, it's got to be PSG in it. Like it's got to be PSG. If they don't win it, then who really care? It just got nothing to do with me. As long as none of the English teams bring it home again, I don't really care, man. So yeah, man, is what it is. Appreciate C for locking in. You know, big up the Nightbot for banging on that drum. Man said, I would bring in Aouar and keep Guendouzi and dump Xhaka in the recycling bin. Well, Guendouzi's basically a Marseille player. There's an obligation to buy, so it's a myth, if I'm completely honest with you. Thanks, bro. All is good, my G. With what we have, we've got to have Lokonga starting every week, and next to him rotate between Ainsley Maitland-Niles plus Partey, because Partey's injury prone. I would say flip that around and say Partey, and you might be right. Hoping one of the Cypriot teams can do the spuds in. Aye, man, whoever's out there in the Conference League that plays against Spurs, you know we support them, in it. Like whoever's them. So it is what it is, really. Yeah, man, hopefully can do it. They can do a thing, man. I'll support anyone who plays against the English teams and anyone who plays against Spurs in Europe. Again, Arsenal not in Europe, so it's a Brexit thing. Everyone needs to come out, really and truly. Everyone. So it is what it is, and whatnot. I shut up, Siri, man. I'm here with my friends. I'm not talking to you. Getting involved. Has Spurs honeymoon period ended? Because I just see a question in relation to that, man. Where is that? Thoughts on Tottenham's display? Has their honeymoon period ended? If I'm honest with you, listen, I'm here for Spurs slander, but I can't go as far as to say it now. I'm pretty sure they've got Chelsea at the weekend, so they needed to take points off Crystal Palace. Big up Patrick Vieira. Big up Zaha for the rattling job. Big up Eduard for, you know, again, as much as I want to talk about Ronaldo, you could sit here and say, did Cristiano Ronaldo have the best debut of the weekend? I think he did, because it's Ronaldo. But same way, Eduard was on the pitch for 84 minutes, and I swear he bagged 2 or something like that. So yeah, man, that's probably the best one. So Palace did their thing. I mean, Spurs, what? they've got 2-3 wins on the spin. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Let's actually check. I'm sure they've got, that's their first L in it. So I mean, what could you really say? I wouldn't say the honeymoon period's ended because I don't know. Only time will tell. But I did think there was a lot of unnecessary praise, and I'm always going to say that as an Arsenal fan. But I mean, keep in perspective, they've had a near enough. I mean, the games haven't been perfect, but big result against Manchester City to kick things off. Then by the same scoreline, they beat Wolves 1-0. By the same scoreline, Spurs won from 1-0 against Watford. And I mean, considering that, obviously, you look at Kane. Kane isn't fully fit and whatnot. If I'm completely honest with you, they missed Son. Tanganga was moving mad. Emerson had a baptism of fire into the Premier League. It's just a bad day. It's an L in it, 3-0. Clean sheet for Palace, whitewashed, fantastic from all the Palace boys. Their losses, is Spurs' losses, Palace's game is probably just one of their days, really and truly. So yeah, man, I want it to be over, but keep in perspective, 4 games, they've got 3 wins. That doesn't seem like a honeymoon period's over. And I mean, Spurs fans, I'm sure if you was to ask them, they probably expected some L. If it wasn't going to be against City, it was going to be against someone. At least the first 5 games, I don't think Spurs expected 4 out of 5, let alone 5 out of 5, because it was looking a mess at Spurs, even with Nuno. And like you said, honeymoon period, they're doing all right. Now, when you look at their fixtures to come, Thursday, they've got Rennes, then they've got Chelsea, then they've got Wolves away in the cup. But just looking at the Premier League, they've got 2 London derbies. They've got Chelsea at 4:30, which is why they probably. I'd be more angry if I was Nuno Espirito Santo, because you need to take damage limitation. It's a bit like Arsenal. On top of everything, no disrespect to Brentford, I was even more angry at not beating Brentford. Sorry, man said breakfast. I'm clearly hungry. Because of who we had to play next, sort of thing. Spurs weren't convincing. They weren't convincing at all. They haven't won all these games comprehensive. I feel City, they did their thing. But I'd say who has been perfect? No collective team has been perfect since the start of the season. No one is going to. I'm sure if you ask Pep and Klopp, have they been perfect? The answer would be no. You look at, I'm sure, Burnley and Norwich, they made Liverpool work harder than needed to be. Liverpool weren't exactly clinical yesterday. Mane typifies that. City haven't been perfect. Chelsea near enough, but Chelsea against Villa weren't as one-sided as suggested. The Man United game's the same. No one's been perfect. No one's been convincing. It's just about getting points on the board, getting a run of, getting togetherness and moving from there. So as much as I'm here for the Spurs slander, I can't really just say it's them, because no one's looked convincing 100%, even the teams that are doing well, in my opinion. So yeah, and for Spurs, like I said, they got Chelsea, us, Villa, Newcastle. So hopefully it gets long, people. Hopefully it gets. September's a big month. And then you look at October for them, it's even gazier. You've got Villa, you got Newcastle, you got West Ham, you got United. That ends October, so it's a big month for them. But we'll have to see, man. I don't know if their honeymoon period's ended, but it's definitely L. Just the other week, Spurs were telling us they're top of the league in August. And I mean, that tells you everything about Spurs fans, innit? It's not like they know their way around the league table, or that it matters winning it in May, where you are in May. But fair play, Spuds. Fair play, Spuds. Is where it is. I had to get the cheeky little dig at them, man, there. But yeah, a man said it has to be Saul. Hey, I can't lie. I was very disappointed with what I saw from Saul, I can't lie. And it was quite, interesting to hear the way Tuchel just said it for what it is. He's like, he looked off the pace. He looked like he struggled with the pace of the Prem. I had to take him off, blah, 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 blah. I was thinking, raw, like, the manager's being 100% honest. What can you say about that, people? On that topic as well, he's spoken about a couple of things, people. He spoke about Ben Chilwell, and he spoke about not allowing Callum Hudson-Odoi to go on loan. Now, I looked at it. I could be wrong, but Callum Hudson-Odoi has actually got 100 appearances for Chelsea. Now, when you quantify it, that's the majority of them can't be 90 minutes in the league. How many of them are starts and things? But someone in his early 20s to make 100 appearances, and to me, as an ignorant non-Chelsea fan looking on the outside, he don't look like he is a first-team player, but he doesn't look like someone that's played 100 games for Chelsea. He still looks like he's on the cusp. And when you look at the way Thomas Tuchel and I spoke about why he didn't allow him to go to Dortmund, Callum's got himself a question to ask, should he have forced it? Could he have forced it? Because it's not that, I'm not saying Tuchel said he doesn't rate you or believe in you, but, Thomas Tuchel says it was an easy decision to block Callum Hudson-Odoi from leaving Chelsea for Borussia Dortmund. Tuchel said there was no chance he would have allowed Callum Hudson-Odoi to leave Chelsea and join Borussia Dortmund on loan. As you lot know, he has struggled to play regular football, people. He will get his chance provided if he does it, really and truly, man. You know, he's urged the midfielder to overcome the gap between training and matches. So that must mean either he's not consistent all the time in training, or that must mean that he wants him to apply himself to high standards. But, you know, he clearly believes in his ability, or believes in him to hold down a spot in the squad, keyword squad. And when you look at it, he said, we have spoken. This was about Callum Hudson-Odoi going to Dortmund. We have spoken. It was a very easy decision for me to make on the last day of the transfer period. We cannot let a player who is in the 18, 19 man squad leave. He's able to play as a right wing back, a left wing back in the 2-10 positions. He knows the group. We know him very well. There was no chance to say yes on the last day. So what does that tell you? Rightly so. Thomas Tuchel says, you know what, you're in my 18, 19 man squad, 25 max. I need you to stay. You're adaptable. You're able to cover a couple of areas. Your time, you'll be rotated as games happen. If something happens with any of my more key players, you can step in. So I didn't really get the vibe of somebody who's talking more from what from what Callum can do for his personal development, but for the collective development of the team, you need options in areas. So that's why you stayed. He said, for him personally, it would have been a good opportunity, but for us and our targets that we want to achieve, it's simply impossible. It was an easy one for me, actually. I can't disagree with what the gaffer said there, but as I said, Callum needs to ask himself a question come January. Callum has to overcome the gap between training and matches. I see a stronger Callum every day in training, and he needs to overcome this gap and show this kind of determination that he shows in training. If he gets minutes, it's never a gift. No one gets gifts because we take maybe hard decisions, like for Callum not to let him go on loan. That's true. He needs to deserve it. I know it's right wing back. I know right wing back is not his favorite position, but he can play this position and serve the team when necessary. Today it was necessary, and he can still do better. Still, he can be more aggressive. Still, he needs to push himself absolutely to the limits. This is what he does in training. And as I said, he needs to overcome this gap to fight for his place in the squad. This is life at Chelsea. So I get the vibe that, you know, he sees something in Callum Hudson-Odoi that he might not see in himself. And it's not that Callum thinks he's old anything, but you're not old nothing, is what Thomas Tuchel is saying. And make it so I can't not let you in the team, sort of thing. So be interested to see how that one there develops come January, folks. Moving away from that, though, apparently Ben Chilwell suffered after being snubbed by England, but he's ready to return. Apparently, Thomas Tuchel says Ben Chilwell's disappointment at being dropped by England has been a factor in his recent absence from the England team. As you lot know, he didn't play a single minute at the Euros. You know, it's not like you're the only player to do that. And apparently it means Chilwell's most recent competitive football was that Champions League final nearly 4 months ago. And he said, yes, that's been absolutely difficult for him. And I think it is pretty normal. He came from a Champions League win, 90 minutes, a strong performance and a good season, a good end to the season in general. He played a lot of minutes for us in many important games at a high level. Then it was individually for him a tough Euros because there were chances where he thought he could have played. I know it was a tough one because you feel part of the team, but you don't feel it really if you don't sweat on the pitch. And if you wear the shirt, it's a straight. And if you never wear the shirt, it's a strange feeling also to keep training for 4 or 5 weeks. And I mean, I hear that anyone be disappointed. It's playing for your country, but at the same time, you're part of the collective in it. So it's sounds a bit woe is me if I'm completely honest with you. He had a break and it was hard for him to totally relax, and get this disappointment off his shoulders. When he arrived here, I felt him a bit mentally tired, still worrying about the situation. At the same time, he was very unlucky because Marcus was here the whole preseason and he took this opportunity with such a high quality and attitude. Marcus was crucial for us from the first day in training. Then he delivered in Chile's position. So, yeah, man, I mean, that's one thing I like about Tuchel. I mean, he's got emotion to it, but there's no emotion to it. It's like, bro, this is the best squad to be throwing in at this moment in time. This is what I'm going to do, people. So yeah, it is what it is. Make sure you're following if you haven't already. Tuchel on these two. What else what are you lot saying? I Tuchel rotate my boy Mount. You'd have to ask someone else. It's the German bluntness. Appreciate you, Jessa. It kind of sucks for Callum Hudson-Odoi that we don't play without white wingers, to be fair to you. It's true. But there was a point where, as an ignorant non-Chelsea fan, bro, when Thomas Tuchel first come in, it looked like Callum Hudson-Odoi was that wing back role was yours at a point. So you had it, you didn't hold on to it. And I think this can help Callum. Now, for me, if I'm Callum or his advisors, I can't lie, the situation is being monitored and we're probably acting in January and probably forcing the boat out, because I fully side with Thomas Tuchel because, you know, need a squad. For Callum, he needs to be selfish. Yeah, you're at a team that you've just won the Champions League. You're fighting for the Premier League. You're fighting for all these things, but you need to do what's best for you. Are you going to start 5 games in a row? Can you? 10 games, 20 games, you know, can you get 20, 30 significant minutes under your belt? If you can get that at Chelsea, fair play. Like the same way you're on the cusp, you can force your way in. You know, Alonso, it seems like every time there's a managerial change at Chelsea, Alonso's one that looks like he's going out the door, then he starts playing well again. So, you know, you just have to do what you want. From what he said there, he just wants to see him apply it in the match. And to be honest, you just have to keep training to the level you are. And then when that opportunity comes in a match, play to that high standard and you don't lose your spot. It's as simple as that, in my opinion, people. But what do I know? Away from that, though, you lot know how much of a big fan I am of Jude Bellingham, and apparently Manchester City, Liverpool, and Chelsea are all in for him, and I'm sure everybody and their dad is looking at him. For what it's worth, I don't think he'll be there in the next 2 years, but I think it's best to just stay at Dortmund, keep playing Champions League, keep growing in importance outside of the Premier League, and doing what you need to do. Now, obviously, he's probably had good and bad games for Dortmund, but you know how the Premier League media is. It's going to be exaggerated. With every great game, he's a mate. Look how we played against, was it Andorra or something? He doppied them and they're gassing it to high heavens. With every bad game, it's going to happen with Jadon Sancho as well. With every bad game, overrated. What's gone wrong for Jadon? With every great game, this is how you could see it. So I think it's best for him. One thing I love about Jude, clearly, you know, with respect to Birmingham, being at Birmingham, being a player to this standard, you know, really from a very, in even younger age than 16, I'm sure they had offers from all the big clubs in England. He and them have rejected that. He could have went to United. You remember United did everything. They showed him around Carrington, probably showed him the Premier League. If Ronaldo was there, they probably would have got Ronaldo to chat to him, wheeled out Alex Ferguson. It didn't bang. He said, you know what, I'm going to Dortmund. And I think that's the best thing. You know, I would love him at Arsenal, but it isn't going to happen. If Pep Guardiola is at Man City, then Jude, probably something you can consider. And Pep's seen firsthand what he could do for him. Liverpool could be a good option. Chelsea would be a good. They're all good teams for Jude. And they'll all take him with open arms. You know, he's got a lot of potential. Keen to see how he develops in the future. What sort of player does he become? What specific midfielder does he become? And all of those sort of things, people. But for what it's worth, and every week you see him linked with a new club, people. As you lot see here, Borussia Dortmund are already poised for an intense speculation over Haaland. I'm going to skip through. So, yeah, they let Sancho go. They'll let Haaland leave next season. They might hold on for Bellingham for another year ahead of that. You know, with respect to Jordan Henderson, you know, there's certain players that haven't made it and locked down a senior career that were better than you at 18. And you're definitely better than I was at 18, Henderson. But that's not exactly an achievement. Scrolling all the way down, as you lot know, Jude Bellingham is contracted for another 4 years, 2025, sorry. Privately, sources are indicating that there are no plans to sell him anytime soon, no matter what offers come in. Now, that's a bit of a cap because, as you lot know, certain offers get put on the table, things get done. Simple as that. Apparently, this week, Liverpool have been linked with an £80 million move. I don't know if they're going to, you know, I can't lie. I think in the future, he will be worth it. If you're asking me right now, is Jude Bellingham worth £80 million? It's not. He's not. And that's not because I don't think he's a good player. It's for the potential. It's what the player could be of tomorrow. It's what the player could be in the future. And we all know potential is the buzzword. That's what got Martial, the big boy move, and the Ballon d'Or contracts. That's what got Mbappe bought for 200 million. Now, please do not misunderstand me. I'm not saying these players are not great. I'm not saying they can't step onto greatness. But there used to be a time where you had to be worth that transfer fee at the time, not what you can be in years to come and whatnot. And we all know no one wants to miss out on anyone, really. Every club does it to different standards. That's probably why Chelsea have persisted with Callum. That's why Arsenal haven't probably let go of Nelson. And there's obviously, these are the elite talents, you know. Again, Bellingham, you know, he's in the bracket right now with the Fatties and the Pedris and all of these things until certain things happen. He's a quality player. And I'm sure he will play in the Premier League at some point. He's an English lad. Come on now. He will return home. Really, really and truly. So what it is, again, City are interested in him. Chelsea have their eyes on Bellingham and have had their eyes on him since he was at Birmingham City. And whatnot. As you lot know, Man United tried to get him. City are interested in him as well. Apparently, all 3 of these same clubs are looking at Declan Rice, who's a completely different player from Bellingham. But, you know, is there a case of, you know, they want an English midfielder? And like I said, he should be in no rush because he's done everything the right way, you know. at 18, he played 41 times in the championship and played a key role for Birmingham. Bit cringy, but they retired his shirt. You know, he's made 32 appearances for Dortmund and he's played in the Champions League at 18, and there's no real pressure, you know. Again, when you move to these clubs, if he develops to the way I believe he's going to, it's not just going to be these, like the PSGs, the Real Madrids. These guys are going to get involved. And when you go to these clubs, it's not about ability anymore. He can cope with pressure. That's one great thing about him, you know. But yeah, man. It is what it is. A man said, my notifications are robbing me of content. I tell you lot, check the schedules. I tell you lot, in all the streams when I'm going live, I give up with you lot. C is also saying the notifications tell me he's randomly on when he's not. Exactly. See how they do you dirty? It's absolutely nonsense. But moving away from that, though, allegedly Dortmund will try to price Bellingham out of a move, just as they did with Jadon Sancho and Haaland at moments when they're not ready to lose him. And I'm sure United fans listening, you will know Dortmund kind of effed you about for Jadon, and then they shagged themselves. COVID discount made him ultimately leave for less. 100 million price tag would come as no surprise in the new year, particularly as they know Rice is being valued at the same amount by his club in London. And to be honest, 100 million for Jude Bellingham, 100 million for Rice, I'd rather make it for Rice. To be honest with you, anything past 50 million, even though it can't happen, I'm probably not on it for Rice, if I'm completely honest. And I like Declan Rice as a footballer. So we'll have to see where Bellingham goes. And as he keeps developing, and no doubt he's probably going to be involved in the World Cup and things like that, he's just going to get better and better, man. You see him drinking beer and that when Dortmund have scored, he's just going to get better and better, and he's a terrific player. The only sad thing I can say is that Arsenal, unfortunately, I'm not in the conversation for Donny. So it is what it is in that regards, man. Make sure you're following if you haven't already. When you say you lot are getting false notifications, what do you mean? Like, am I literally not online, or is it when I've clicked it early and I've got the timer and then think going? Chilwell's done out here. Alonso wore the captain's armband on Saturday, even though Silva was on the pitch. I don't think Tuchel rates him anyways, if I'm honest with you. I don't think he thinks he's bad. I just don't think he's rated him. Like, I'm sure in my streams at the start, I was saying when Tuchel first came in, I thought, you know, Chilwell might get rubbed out. Forget the fact they spent 50 mil, but he clearly likes him a little bit, man. Appreciate you lot that are just tuning in. Yes, DG, wasn't sure if you were live, but forgot about think you mean to say Kante work rate. Come on, man. You know the thing. Appreciate you lot. I mean, if I'm not here, then I'm on YouTube. It's one of them ones, really. My phone suggested me to watch DG on Twitch when you're offline. That's moving mad. No, you're literally not online. It will say DG is live. I'll click and it will say you're offline. So again, Twitch notification started off very well, and they're a bunch of frauds, just like YouTube, if I'm completely honest with you. But we keep moving, we keep persisting, and all of those sort of things. So yeah, moving away from that, you know, Mohamed Salah is crazy. He's joined the Premier League 100 club, and you know, such has been Salah. I thought he did this already, and I mean, you look at it: 100 Premier League goals, people. You know, 100 goals, 40 assists in 162 Premier League appearances. Not to mention he's won the league. I don't feel you necessarily have to win the league to be a legend, because I just feel in general, this trophy thing, it's when you like a player and he's won trophies, you bring it up. You know, it's not really relevant when it hasn't, and it's a collective game. But even if Mo Salah didn't win the Premier League, I can't say champs because it's not relevant specific to the Premier League, but large him up for that, he would still be a legend. I think, you know, Salah is the greatest one season wonder there is. You know, Chelsea flop, one season wonder, you know, however many goals later, like I said, in 162 games, people, 100 goals and 40 assists. That's about 20 odd games he's taken off. You know, he said, you know, I'm not on it. The man's quality. You know, I hate when I see things like he's a systems player and he's all of these things. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, the guy is quality. Fair enough, and you know, and he just gets better and better. And I think people underestimate that clearly he's got the tenacity to improve. And you know, I hear Liverpool want to give him a new deal and all of these sort of things. They might, you know, whether that happens or not, there's a lot for them to think about. He's 29. Again, who would buy him? I don't know, but they need to really think about the structure of the club. But you could do, you know, Liverpool could do a lot wrong. The man is amazing, and you know, him, Vardy, Kane, they're up there for the greatest one season wonders in the world. I mean, Salah was ridiculous and he deserved his goal. And this is why he's in my FPL team, if I'm completely honest with you. What a player Mohamed Salah is. Facts. Who wins the Golden Boot? I don't know, because Kane and Vardy ain't really got going. Ings and Antonio and Calvert-Lewin, these sort of guys are gonna be creeping up and whatnot. People, Lukaku got a brace, if I can remember correctly, against Villa. Ronaldo also got a brace. You know, the Golden Boots, anyone's guess, man. I don't know who Aubameyang got on the goal sheet again. Hopefully he can be, as an Arsenal fan, get up there. I don't think he's going to win it, but the Golden Boot, I think it comes down to who creates the most chances, and I think Chelsea got to be up there for creation of chances, and Lukaku's going to play every game. I don't know how creative United are going to be, because they do struggle in that midfield. Pogba's had to move over there now, but if Pogba doesn't play in that pivot, they're not creating much. And I do think Ronaldo is going to give a couple of players some fake assists, because he's going to, people are going to cross it like 10 feet in the air and he's going to get onto it. But I don't know how creative that United team is. Of course, it's mad studied and whatnot. Bare sick players, FIFA sort of lineups and whatnot. But is it the most creative team? I don't know how much they're going to create chances. So I'd probably, Salah's going to just somehow get there. I actually think Lukaku might be up there just because Chelsea create more. If Ronaldo was in that Chelsea team or had some of them, I'd say it's him. And I still think Ronaldo's going to probably win it regardless. But I just think you need people to give you service in it. But I do, well, it's not even I do. It's like the favourites are Salah, Lukaku and Ronaldo. I think they'll be at it. I just think it will come down to all their team's abilities to create chances. And whether it's Trent, Robertson, whoever, Salah will get his chances. Lukaku, all he needs to do, food is being prepared in that Chelsea lineup. He just needs to sit on the table and eat and grab a plate and eat. Ronaldo has started off well. You've got Bruno there, but I don't know how creative they're going to be really and truly. And I don't know how many chances are created with Man United over 90 minutes, because it just looks like it's an individual brilliance thing. Like there's just, the whole 90 isn't perfect. There's just an individual brilliance of creating these chances. So I have to see, man, who wins the Golden Boot. But yeah, man, it's good to see. It's good to see. It's a good debate to have. And again, I'm jealous of all the players I've said, because I can't none of them are, well, apart from Aubameyang, and he's not moving like the Aubameyang historically. None of them play for Arsenal Football Club, really and truly. So it is one of them. Sorry, who wins the Golden Boot / Ronaldo return? And I mean, I can't lie. I said it before, but Ronaldo, saying that, Ben has said penalties could be decisive, and Sir Alex Ferguson clearly is paying off refs again. So Bruno Fernandes and Ronaldo are gonna eat. So VAR might boost it for Ronaldo. The ones there, people. But yeah, man, Ronaldo's return, on a serious note, it was crazy. I'm not even a United fan, and I don't care about the football club in terms of the fans, but it was magical to hear the "soo" and all of that when he scored, and that's what football's about. Like, forget the fact that they're giving him mad money, and all of these. It's just, what it feels like to play for Man United. Them man are the fans, and it's crazy. It's like Arsenal when Henry came back and he scored against Leeds. That's what football. That's what football's all about. I don't want to say sadly, because it's not sad, but I'm sure you all saw, and it's gonna, until you come to the end of these things, and we've got to be very careful with how we frame this up. But I'm sure you all saw Cristiano Ronaldo protesters fly banner in support of rape accuser over Man United debut. People, a banner in support of Cristiano Ronaldo's rape accuser was flown over Old Trafford as the Portuguese superstar made his second Manchester United debut. Believe Catherine Mayorga, forgive me for mispronunciations, over the stadium, and they put to remind crowds of rape allegations. And obviously, listen, it is very touchy subject, and I do hope that the truth comes out. If Ronaldo has done this, he needs to join where Mendy is, and I hope this girl, if she has been abused, is able to get, move past this. And I say move past this, you can't, the physical wounds will heal, the mental scars won't. And just like that, if this has happened, obviously, how her relationships were, if she has a son, if she has a boyfriend, if she has a husband, her dad, even if she's filling up petrol in her car and it's a male, you've robbed her of how she interacts with males now, really and truly, and just how she, no, it might even be a melting, how she might not even, you might just rob her personality. She could have died that day, in terms of, whoever Catherine was as a person, it could have died. So hopefully there's something away from that, because we don't condone this sort of stuff. Pure jungle justice. If you don't know what that is, type that in on Google for them boy there who do the Mazzolinis. This happened in 2009. You know, and I mean, again, I'm a bit ignorant to it, but I mean, Ronaldo, I mean, there's certain allegations you don't want around your name and them things there. Personally, if this thing was looming since '09 or whenever it came to light, really, you'd want to come out and, you know, if it's a lie, come out and prove the truth. Because clearly, you know, there's something in this. You know, someone's got to be lying, someone. And, you know, I typically believe the victim until something said different, because I just feel, I don't know how it works in America, but in England, even when these rapists are guilty, do you know how many of them walk from court? Do you know how many of them get away with this thing? So it's mad. But anyways, man, it's unfortunate that this thing has happened, people. But yeah, in 2019, US prosecutors said Ronaldo would not face any charges, 9 years after reportedly reaching an out of court settlement with the Portuguese player. So I mean, why she's done that, I don't know. You know, is it hush money? Is it, you know, I don't know what's going on there. Again, I don't want to talk on things I don't really know. It's just unfortunate that, you know, United fans have had to see that, really and truly. And this is something that's always gonna plague Ronaldo. And I'm sure United at some point are gonna go to America. How's it gonna work for Ronaldo then? Well, you get what's going on there. But Miss Mayorga had sought to reopen the case in 2018, with her lawyer claiming that she had taken motivation from the Me Too movement against sexual violence. And again, I want to, you know, I don't really, I want to be very careful with what I say, but me personally, I can't put myself in a woman's shoes. But justice is justice. I can't lie. No amount of money would make me shut up about this, because if based on what it was said there, if we go up, it sounds like hush money. If Ronaldo's offered you hush money and you want to take him to the cleaners and get justice, you say fuck all of that. You know, no out of court settlement money can replace what you felt or what's happened to you. If this did happen or didn't, it doesn't mean it did or didn't happen. I'm not saying anything. I don't know what going. But do you get it, people? So yeah, if she's been motivated to speak out, speak out. And in general, any woman that unfortunately has been part of this, if you ever find the strength, please speak out. And I don't even want to say put these twats in jail, man. Cause jail's too easy, man. Death is too easy. These lot got to be locked up. Given you know, I always say it. You know, they should be locked up. If people like Mendy, if Mendy is given guilty, you know, in January, tie his ankle to a chain, get a big boulder, slap it in the middle of that jail yard, get him a hammer. Every day you're going out and hitting that from sun up to sundown. You're licking that, you're hitting it. You know, you get a little bit of water just to keep you alive. Beg him to get to the point where they beg you to die. Death's too easy. I used to say anyone that does things like this, their lights have to go out, but that's too easy. I want them to beg for death and still not give it to them. But anyways, man, moving on. Apparently Ronaldo met this lady at a nightclub, and they were pictured by paparazzi. Apparently the lady has alleged that she was invited back to Ronaldo's suite at the Palms Place Hotel, where it's alleged that the rape took place. Apparently she reported the alleged rape to police, but opted against revealing her name or the name of her alleged attacker where the incident is taking place for obvious reasons. She hired a lawyer, civil proceeds began, people, and obviously we're still nowhere there. And apparently documents from, you know, Dr. Spill, who leaked this thing in 2017, apparently Ronaldo said she said no and stopped several times during sex. Is also said to have apologized afterwards. His legal team have said that the document was completely fabricated. Such is life. I don't think we'll ever know the truth out here, people. So boy, I don't know. But for what it's worth, the player did kind of speak out in 2018, 9 years after it. And he said, I firmly deny the accusations being issued against me. Rape is an abominable crime that goes against everything that I am and believe in. Keen as I may to clear my name, I refuse to feed the media skeptical created by people seeking to promote themselves at my expense. I hear it, but rape is one of them things, bro. This ain't you've been pictured on a night out drinking. This is one, bro. For me, I'm taking that lady to the cleaners if I'm innocent. We're going to court, because that's mad defamation of character. You know, he's very close with his mom and women in his family. Again, there's things there, but yeah, man, it's disgusting. What more can I say in it? You lot are there in it. It makes me very uncomfortable, but it is something you have to speak on, people. It's people's it's real life, you know. And again, it's the ones you don't hear about. Like I said, over here in the UK, unfortunately, pussies that do things like this very rarely get held accountable to justice. And when they do, they're getting a little 2-3 years, 1 year. All of these things, they're out doing the masses already. Some of them man even getting bail and that. It's crazy. Why is that? Because the system is built up on kiddie fiddlers and rapists and things like that. That's why they protect them, you know. But let's stay with football, man. Let's stay with football and whatnot, man. It's absolutely disgusting. But yeah, man. You can't put a price on peace of mind. Trust me, there's certain things you can't have next to your name, bro. There's certain things, man. Messi's the goal, so complete technically and as good as a goal scorer as Ronaldo, if not better. Stop, bro. Stone is too easy, bro. It's too easy. I used to be on that. Like I said, I want these lot to beg for that. But let's move away from that. Man said Hazard or Salah. I mean, if we're playing a game of football, you know, and you just it's not this technical debate. Give them a football. Hazard every day of the week. If you're asking me who I'd rather, I think Salah, because Hazard's more on his day. Listen, Hazard's a joke of a footballer. Prime Hazard's a joke. I just feel Salah's hungry with it, man. I don't get the vibe that Hazard's hungry with it. That's why I think beyond everything, he's been an amazing footballer, but he hasn't. I don't think he's hit his potential, Carl. The man, they are not hungry. Football's always been I'm not saying Hazard hasn't been through adversity or anything of that ilk, but you just get the vibe that it's just a hobby for him. You know, his whole family was footballers. He plays with his family. It's just joy, and that comes with how he's playing. I'm not criticizing that. When I look at Salah, you see real hunger. You know, didn't have it easy. I'm not saying Ronaldo did, but had to come from Egypt, you know, went to Basel, you know, had to prove people, didn't get his time at Chelsea, had to prove people wrong, had to go live in Italy. There's a different sort of hunger from Salah, and I just get that with the time. That's why I think Salah probably even excels more than his ability suggests with respect to him, and that's probably why Hazard underperforms for his ability. You might, but you're not going to get a Salah going a whole calendar year without scoring, really and truly. So, you know, prime Hazard, giving them a football, I think it's Hazard. But everything, you're asking me who I want for 38 games, if I'm trying to win Prems and Champions Leagues and all of these things, I know Hazard has won the Prem, but I'd probably go with Salah because, you know, Hazard's a mercurial dribbler, absolute talent, lovely. But I just think Salah's hungry with it, and I need that hunger. Sometimes Hazard's not necessarily at it. Obviously, like I said, if you gave them both for football and you're just playing a match for 90 minutes, I think Hazard is the better footballer, if that's what you're asking. Interesting debate, though. Between Lukaku, Salah, and Ronaldo for the Golden Boot, for me, I can see Ronaldo getting very frustrated. What do you think of Smith Rowe ceiling as a player? Also, did we give him the 10 too quick? I don't think we've given him the 10 too quick. I think the standards are on the floor. I don't think he should have got the 10 yet anyways. But I don't think he's got it too quick. I mean, it's doubling down on him. I don't know how far his ceiling is. I don't think he's going to quite join the Foldens and that. But I just think he could be a household name in the Premier League and a good team player for Arsenal. And that's, you know, if he keeps developing, I see no reason why he can't eventually get capped by England, but he needs to take it up several levels. Like I said, you know, whether they can or not, and they definitely need to, every attacking player at Arsenal, we don't create, should be targeting 10 goals, 10 assists. And it's not just Arsenal, bro. Ronaldo's different, but, you know, Greenwood, Ronaldo, Martial, anyone at United, anyone at Chelsea, anyone anywhere, you should be targeting 10 and 10. That's what you should be looking like. Whether you hit it or not is another thing. 10 goals, 10 assists, if you don't know what I'm on about. Salah's class, man, one of the best players to grace the Prem. Facts. Salah is popping off standard, but it'll be one of the usual suspects. That's a bit harsh to say Salah's not one. Kane, Salah, Lukaku. Oh, you did say Kane, Salah, Lukaku, Ronaldo, maybe either Ings or Oba. Do you know what it is? We got to remember at some point, these lot are going to go through a drought as well. I just think Lukaku's going to get too much service. I don't know how consistently Ronaldo is, but it's Ronaldo. I'd probably say if I had to bet peas, I'd probably just feel the safest saying Salah, you know. I say Lukaku, but probably just Salah. Pardon me. I wish they didn't count pens. I know they should count, but it just distorts the prolificness. I can't say that, but I don't think so, PMAV, man. Because again, people underrate pens. You still got to step up and take it. So there's a 50% chance. It's always a 50% chance. You miss or you take them. You know, I know they're not glamorous, but I mean, they should count, bro. Reminds me of Asuakoto just saying openly admitting he's just here for bread. Bro, to be fair to you, I know football fans don't want to hear none of these things, you know, about bread, but man are here for bread, bro. Man are trying to escape life and whatnot. I remember seeing Evra before he retired. I not see him, I don't know him, but he was like, I can't retire just yet. I think he was at Juventus. He's like, I got too many siblings and that. Football's real life, you know. For a lot of people, football's real life. That's why I don't necessarily get mad, because it's real life and it's just a job at the end of the day. It's fantastic, but you know, certain people, bro, it's the difference, man. The real question, Kaka or Charisma. Tino, people are gonna look at you like you're mad, but he's not mad, people. That's a running joke. If you know, you know. If you was here, you was here. If not, then I can't help you. Hazard just did football for fun, wasn't trying to push himself too hard. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with that. Football is about joy. I look at like people like Ronaldinho, he played with a smile on his face. It's just Salah, it's a joy thing and it's an escaping poverty thing and having a better life sort of thing. And I just think that determination or that level of tenacity, it transpires. You know, Hazard plays within himself. As much as I love the baller, he plays within himself. It's a bit like it's different, but and he's done more than Ozil in the Prem. Ozil, prime Ozil's a madman, but he played within himself. You know, Bear Man play within himself. For real, and people keep saying innocent until proven guilty as if it's that easy to convict these people in these kinds of crimes. Exactly. And there's bare little things, you know, people can be, you know, again, whoever's 9 times out of 10, who's ever got the most money can hush people up. You know, when you see all these charities, this is why I don't want to say name, but this is why I don't be doing the Red Cross and Oxfam and all these things that go all around Africa and pretend they're helping and, you know, and they've got all their people, them doing fuckery to the people and them people there can't even say nothing like that. It pisses me off. You know, it really pisses me off. But again, that's for another debate and it's horrible, man. See, Pete Mav was on to you, Tino. Talks ongoing since July between Manchester United and Bruno Fernandes' agent. Positive discussions on the way. Bruno wants to stay. Man United wanted to sign a new deal by the end of the year. Bruno's contract is now considered the priority together with Pogba. Yeah, man, you know, it makes sense. And again, I'm keen to see what happens with the wage structure because, you know, I don't know if it's fair to say Bruno Fernandes has exceeded Manchester United's expectations, but he hasn't. He's been there 2 minutes. You know, what did he? I swear he joined last year. He joined midway through the season, and I could be wrong, but he joined midway through the season and he pushed himself. He's one of their most important players. They do need to tie him down. Need to tie down Pogba as well. It looks like Pogba is more open to staying now as well. Obviously, Ronaldo's doing his thing. It's looking wavy right now. For me, if I'm Pogba, I would wait, you know, because as the longer you wait, the longer United have to, you know, start getting scared. You know, you sign a new deal right now and then the situation gets toxic again. There's that. And also at 28 years of age, I'm sure he's hoping Real Madrid and PSG ask for him. I mean, if Man United show you they're serious and they're actually trying to do what they brought you for and spend money and spend it properly and fight for the league, by all means, Pogba, stay in it. You're happy, you know, you're a bit like Bellerin in that you might be French, but you're as Mancunian as a Ravel Morrison or something like that. Same way Bellerin was not my North London, but maybe like the Barnet side of North London, and that is one of them man there, in it. He could do that. So for me, it would make sense. It would make sense, but again, they're interlapted because Pogba's got Mino Rainola's agent now. If I want to stay at United and I'm Pogba, I'm seeing what go on for this Bruno thing first. You know, if Bruno gets X amount, I'm gonna say, yo, listen, man, I forget this amount or closer to closer to parity. And also, you've got the agent, which is Mino Rainola. Now, Pogba's his own man, but you did hear that, you know, he said it. What did he say a few months ago? It's best that he leaves United. So I don't think it makes sense for him to make any decision, whether that's staying or going. I personally think he's going to stay now. I think PSG might go back in for you, but it seems like that boat sailed. I don't know what Real Madrid are doing. It looks like, again, things can change. You know, next month could be it's rosy for United. Next month could be hella rainy, you know, so there's a lot to be done. So I just think Pogba just needs to keep playing his football, focus on his football, and the rest takes care of itself. But it is that age-old thing, in it. Like, it feels a bit disrespectful to say this to Pogba because he's a bad boy, he's an elite baller, but year left, players are playing amazing sort of thing. There's that. There's that. But the longer it goes on, the only losers are Man United because you're going to have to replace him. You do make your squad weaker. You know, he's got, 6 or 7 Premier League assists, and the way he's moving, he probably is going to get 20. You know, whether he can get 20 is another thing. There probably will be an outcome where it kind of dries up and things, and United are in a bit of a tougher way of form. But I think Pogba might do it, you know. I mean, he might, you know, who came the closest? What was it? Kevin De Bruyne? You know, there's no reason why Pogba can't if things happen. And like I said, he's got Cristiano Ronaldo. You can bang the ball towards goal 10 foot in the air, and Ronaldo's going to give you, you know, Ronaldo's going to score 3 or 4 or so goals like that and give people what I call fake assists. Because, you know, assists nowadays, they are getting ridiculous, you know. You know, obviously, if you've passed the ball to someone last and they've scored, it is what it is. But I've seen Messi, I've seen someone at Barcelona pass it. You know, Messi's collected it from the halfway line, right? They've passed it. Messi's danced past the whole team and scored. Now, Messi's a bad boy, yeah. But is that an assist? I think it is, but I don't think it is. Is that? And so a couple have been like that for Pogba, not the same direct example, but been like that. And everyone, even Mesut Ozil, when we was gassing it at Arsenal. But is that really an assist? You know, have you really assisted someone, or have you just passed them the ball? You know, again, and a pass is an assist or whatever, you know, so we can be technical, but I don't know, man. I can't lie. I actually think Pogba's going to do it. I'll be real with you. Like, I think Pogba's going to do it. To be honest, I'd rather Pogba do it than Kevin De Bruyne, to be honest with you. Or anyone at City, if I'm completely honest with you, apart from Grealish. But why not, man? You know, it all depends, but you have to probably back Pogba to do it, man. You know, minimum. I see Pogba with 14 assists this term. And again, asterisk, if things continue. But yeah, can he get 20 league assists? Ifs and buts are things, but with Ronaldo, with Bruno Fernandes, with Greenwood doing well, Rashford to come back, all these guys, you probably will. You know, you start taking some corners, you probably will. You know, again, God forbid, because we don't advocate injuries, you know. If he stays fit, I think the minimum he gets is 14, and it'll be. I would love it for Pogba if he just gets 15 or so assists and fucks off and says, you know what, I've done my thing. It's time to go PSG, time to go Madrid. Barca should Barca. Anytime, have you noticed? Anytime we say the Haalands, Mbappe's, Pogba's, Camavingas, anyone that's been linked, even Lewandowski, I always say Barca. You man need these players more than anyone, if I'm completely honest with you. Make sure we're following and subscribing if we haven't already. I hear the pen thing. Pepe came with with a goal record, but took bare pens, and now in a tougher league and no pens, people expect the same from him. I mean, but that's down for people to have common sense. If I tell you I've scored 30 goals, you know, a striker that scored 30 goals, me as someone who knows ball or loves ball, I'm gonna go and look at it. How many have they scored in the area? You know, how many's been headers? How many have been this and that? Then you can obviously see, bro, if he scored 100 goals, 99 have been in the box. That's someone that's either a poacher or that's someone that needs a lot of service. You know, if he's got 50 from outside the area or 20 this way, 20 the other way, there's a bit of variety there. It's like I don't know if it was in the last live stream. It's like if Arsenal was to sign Calvert-Lewin, you know, I think he won't bang for Arsenal. Why? Because he's more than this, but all of a sudden we'll buy a player whose strengths are in the air and not give him the ball in the air. It's like Aubameyang. He has scored some terrific finishes from outside the area. You saw a feeble attempt from him to do the on-reaching against Norwich, and he scored a tap-in. You know, so it's about understanding things, and it's about people quantifying things. And I think even that people that are onto Pepe, you know, you look at his numbers in comparison to some of the Arsenal players, he's doing better than other man. Meaty, but he's doing better. He's pulling his weight more. But I hear you, though. Where did it go wrong from Barca? Clearly, their man sold their soul a long time ago. Like Arsenal Football Club, I think there's been a series of things that have gone wrong with Barca. You don't get here overnight. You don't go from what Barca have given to the game and what Barca is about and the establishment it should be about. You don't get there overnight. You don't. You don't fail overnight. Just like with Arsenal, we didn't wake up finding ourselves 8th, 20th up until we played Norwich and things. We didn't get there overnight. It's been years of bad practices and bad practices and bad practices until it becomes clearly unsustainable and all of those sort of things there, people. So it is what it is in that regards. Obviously, as well, people, it sucks, but you also, fuck's sake, man, Harvey Elliott. Now, all I can say is I hope he returns sooner rather than later. All I can say is, there's a light at the end of the tunnel and that you will be fit. You have got your life and it could have been worse. And I will say it sucks. But this is what football is about. You could be riding high in April, shot down in May. Whether, it was a rough tackle and things, but that's an occupational hazard, it legit is an occupational hazard. It's like if you're a prison guard, you probably shouldn't be expected to get beaten up by a prison officer or have something mad happen to you. Or if you're a fireman, you might get burnt. Now, whether that's a burn that you can live with or not, these are things. So again, it's an occupational hazard. And it's going to teach you a lot. I always say it's better it happens now in your early, 19 max, 20 max, I don't even know, or 18 or whatever. It's better it happens now in your early years than if you're 28, 35 and things where you can't really come back from it, and mentally it's going to take him a long way because the physical wounds will heal. It's mentally, because I know when I had my little injury in Sunday League, the physical wounds healed up. But it's like I didn't want to do certain things because you don't want the same thing to happen again. You don't want to go into certain things because you might get hurt. So he's going to have to overcome that. And of course, especially for a younger player where they're a bit more naive, there's going to be a time where he's training at Liverpool, doing rehab, and he might be in the injury room, like with Van Dijk. And then he's seeing the other man training and whatever. It's going to hurt you. But the best thing I'd say is You know, he's got good people around him at Liverpool. He's got people like Van Dijk who can pattern him and stuff. But it's a journey, really. You have to go on your own, and it sucks because I won't go as far as to say he's going to get an England call up, but he was doing his thing. You know, he was playing well every game that he's played. He stood out. He's done well, and he's a good player. And he's finally showing what would happen. And he picked up where he left off the back of a good loan spell at Blackburn. So it sucks, but it's real life, man. You know, whether it was a red card or not, I think it was. You know. But at the same time, when I first saw it, I didn't think it was. But on replay, I think it is. But I know it's sparking a lot of debate. You know, was it a red card and things like that? Well, the hype train was loading, bro. He already dislodged Curtis Jones, who was the prodigal son of Anfield, you know, really and truly. Not to say he's not a bad boy footballer, but boy, it sucks, man. But as I said, man, it's an occupational hazard. Like I said, I don't know if it was a red card, but I think it was on one hand, and then I think it wasn't on the other hand. I don't like to say there was no intention because I don't think he went out there to hurt him. But just because there's no intention doesn't mean that it's not a foul or it's not a red or whatever, just because you didn't mean it. But I just think it was a mishap, really and truly saying it's a mishap. I think it's a red, but I also don't. It's one of them. Every angle I look at, I change my mind. I don't really know what's going on, people. But yeah, man. Shout out to Harvey Elliott. He took it on the chin. He took it like a real G. He even found time for the fans. You're seeing everything. He gave his boot and his shirt to other people. He was watching the game while at the gate, on the bed, you know, and also on that logic, you know, the anesthetic must have been fun in it. So it probably got him through that. So it's all calm, man. It's all calm. One of my boys, one of my boys, when his girl was pregnant. You know the thing they give the girl for the painkillers. He said he was using it. It was like balloons, not that I do balloons. I don't advocate that, but get the point. Oh man, so I'm sure Harvey Elliott had a decent time. Man said it was orange. I don't think it was like it was a red, nothing like Son on Gomez. To be fair with you, I stopped getting involved in these debates when Trent wasn't sent off for that tackle on Saka a few years ago. I stopped getting involved. I thought, you know what, this is our next thing now, man. You know, so that strict one is going to happen again, and no one is going to be sent off. You know, I just like Arsenal. I'm seeing it's different, but I'm seeing people get punched in their face in goals and nothing's happening. No, no, no. Balloon's a idiot thing, man. That's how you lose your life. No, 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 no. Man, don't do the balloon thing still. Got if you want it though. Would or once upon a time. Pardon me, snitching on myself. But yeah, man, myth. But yeah, people apparently Real Madrid have the money to sign Haaland and Mbappe, says the La Liga chief, allegedly, people. So let's see exactly what he has to say, people. Yo Gotti apparently has bought a stake in DC United, if you know who that is and you care about music and that. But as you lot can see here, people, in this little graphic here, on Real Madrid, they have sold 200 million euros worth of players. They have enough money to sign Mbappe and Haaland together. They have not lost money. And you've seen the La Liga chief and Real Madrid at beef with each other consistently, people. But apparently, Javier Tapas revealed that Real Madrid are capable of signing both Kylian Mbappe and Haaland, and that's a reality that I think they're going to do. Real Madrid, have sold 200 million worth of players. They have enough money to sign Mbappe and Haaland together. They have not lost money. On top of that, they have sold assets. What is not understandable is that someone who loses 400 million euros has 500 million in the wage bill and can reject offers like that one for Mbappe. The rules in France are failing. They are hurting the European market. I mean, what was it when La Liga was doing the Mazza? You know, what was it when La Liga was doing them as like with João Felix or Griezmann and Coutinho and half these players for Barca? You're just mad that you're on the losing end and that Messi and Ronaldo have bust out the league. The UEFA system is wrong. We are going backwards from the way it should be. Investors must be brought in, but not with unlimited contributions. And this is why the Spanish teams hoard themselves out for the Super League and constant losses. This must not be allowed in another sector. This would not be allowed in another sector. They prefer to win the Champions League and lose 1 billion. That way they keep their fans happy because they won the Champions League. But you have ruined football. It's dangerous. And I mean, it's very ironic hearing someone that is a president of La Liga saying this. You're just mad. Because when Real Madrid, when you lot spent 80 million on Cristiano Ronaldo, and before that signed Kaká, what was that? It's just not your turn. Allow it, man. Chatting ish. Allow it, man. But generally, he's not wrong. Football has become a bit mad to say that. But boy, it's his capping, man. He's just unfortunate that he's lost out in this thing. That's why. It's like when Sky Sports and that was telling us, we're trying to tell us why the Super League is so bad. I'm not criticizing them for saying that, but they weren't trying to tell you not to support Super League because they care about the integrity of the game. Them man are losing peace. That's why they had Gary Nev. Gary Nev and them man thought, you know what, no Champions League. We might not be able to be presenters all the time. You know, not everyone can do the match of the day thing. They've got Ian Wright. Maybe I can dislodge Danny Murphy. But they lied to you lot. Because these same people that were saying they're protecting the integrity of the game. Sorry, people, I'm trying to put my charger in. When they had their chance, they tried to. Do you not remember until the backlash? They tried to charge us 15 quid for some meaty Premier League game. It's mad. But boy, we'll have to see. Even Elliot himself said it wasn't a red. DG with that, real appreciate that. Mbappe is going to be Vinicius backup. To be fair, Vinicius been doing his thing. I broke my femur. That gas helps a lot. Aish. Chase Gold, bloody hell, femur, you know. I'm happy. Touch wood, I ain't broken a damn thing. Fractured a finger, but that's about it. Well, I think I fractured it. It wasn't diagnosed. I think it technically is. You can't even see it. That was dead. You can't even see it too tough. But yeah, man. Bellingham or Gravenbeck. I love Bellingham, but Gravenbeck is special. Not to say Bellingham isn't, for what it's worth. But he's just different with it, man. There's something different. If I'm completely honest with you. Like I said, people, make sure you all here tomorrow. Again, YouTube and Twitch. Again, Young Boys versus United. I think I'm live from around 5-ish. So just make sure you're here paying attention, people. After that, we head back over to YouTube. And then obviously, I think it's Barcelona, Bayern Munich. So yeah, there's hella content, man. All that hard food, I can never be injured. Bro, you say that. You know, there's some vicious people out there. All it takes is you to plant your foot wrong, someone to tackle you, and then, boy, I hear you, though. And by God's grace, you never get injured, bro. Because like I said, it's mentally, it's one of them ones, man. Let me start dropping links. You know, one love to everyone who's already set their reminders and all of these sort of things. Big up the Nightbot. As it said, subscribe with Amazon Prime for free to support the guy. And you've also got my YouTube channel. So make sure you're paying attention if you have not done that already, folks, man. What do you lot think this is? What else is going on in the world of football? Because I can't lie, we've covered everything I was here to speak about, folks. What else is there? You type in Arsenal. Just more of a wank fest over Arteta getting his win. All of a sudden, you can see the system and all this stuff when we win. When we lose, make sure you can see it. You can still see it. Because these media whores, man, these lot are just dedicated to articles. They don't even care about integrity, man. Love and guidance, people. I done that gas and air thing with 3 of my 4. I was vexed the other day. They were in the room the whole time, bro. Goretzka signed a new deal until 2026. So, yeah, I mean, Bayern Munich always deal with it. Always deal with that sort of stuff properly. I swear, well, I'm DG podcast out tomorrow, people. 10-ish English time. Make sure you're here. That's on YouTube. But we'll speak about them. But I can't ruin it, man. There's director of football beef allegedly where Bayern Munich are concerned. So it is what it is in that regards, folks. But yeah, man, we've been here for an hour and 14 minutes. I've covered everything I wanted to cover. It's been a long day for me, so I can't lie. I'm going to clock off from this YouTube business, people, and Twitch better yet. You know, that's how long I'm on YouTube. Be back again tomorrow. You know, I appreciate that, Tino. I appreciate everyone locked in. We're building, man. We're at 2K or so followers / subscribers, whatever they call it on Twitch. You know, we're aiming for 10 before the end of the year. So, you know, make sure you're following, you're subscribing, you're telling people, making sure you're setting your reminders, you're checking the Twitch schedule. Check the fucking schedule, people. Sorry for my language, but check the schedule. You know, I am not just saying that. Like, I feel you lot boy it at times, you know. I feel you lot actually boy it. Where is the schedule? Let me go on it myself. Because you lot take the absolute monkeys, people, man. Absolute monkeys. Channel. Like, don't flop me. It's moving like I can't even. No, I don't know how to do it now. But where is it? I don't even think I know how to do it, people. So I'm capping now. But anyways, check the schedule. Go back to Twitch. Now I'm finding this, man. This is an L. I can't even. This is why you got to be humble in life. I can't even find it. Oh, that's because I'm live. I can't see it while I'm live. So yeah, I'm getting shagged, man. So yeah, make sure you're doing all of that, man. Make sure you're doing all of that. It's an L still, but it's been a fantastic one. You know me, people. You check out, 9 something tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. If there's anything to talk about, make sure you're checking later as well, because tomorrow there's at least two live bits of content as we're watching the Champions League. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm not Twitch savvy either, man. So it is what it is, man. On that note, though, I'm gonna love and leave you lot, people. Make sure you're following and subscribing across everything. Make sure, better than that, you're staying safe. I'm out, folks, man. I'm out. One love. Peace. Safe.
There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like